Have you ever struggled and felt like you didn't win? Well, you're not alone. We all face challenges, but the real magic happens when we learn from them. That's what life is all about, growing and getting better, no matter what comes our way. So, if you're ready to find out how every tough moment can teach us something valuable, stick around. Because today we're going to talk about a book that shows us just that. It's all about learning from the times we fall short and how those lessons can help us succeed next time. And the best part? We'll be guided by a pro at turning hard times into helpful lessons. We're going to discuss the book Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn by John C. Maxwell. So let's get started and turn those losses into wins. We have divided this book into 7 chapters. Chapter 1, when you are losing, everything hurts. Life is full of ups and downs. When things don't go our way, it can hurt. But what we think about these tough times can change how we feel about them. Some people don't like to talk about when they fail because it shows that they're not strong. They try new things, hoping to win, but they're also ready for failure. If they don't succeed, they just try something else. But people who do well in life see things differently. They especially look at their failures. They think that even when they fail, they can learn something important. The truth is, we learn a lot from our mistakes. When people fail, they sometimes feel stuck, like they can't move forward. They think failing is a bad thing. Some people get so upset about failing that they can feel very sad or even hurt themselves. But we need to remember that we're all human. Making mistakes is normal. It's just part of life. Usually when we make mistakes, it helps us change for the better. But sometimes it can make us scared to try again. How we see our failures can make us feel good or bad. If we let our weak spots control us, we'll feel trapped, like we can't do anything. But if we choose to learn from our mistakes, we can turn our losses into wins. Now let's talk about the second chapter, responsibility, the first step of learning. It's the first step in learning from life. Many people think they're only responsible for what others tell them to do. But really, taking responsibility is a choice that can change your whole life. When you mess up, you can either blame others or own up to it. Owning your mistakes means you're learning and growing. If you don't take responsibility, you might start to feel like a victim. Some people always feel helpless and blame things like the economy or their past for their problems. But when you blame others, you give them control over your life. If you don't own your actions, you'll miss chances to learn and get better. To succeed, you need to be willing to learn and be okay with making mistakes. If you're scared to mess up, you won't get better. Take Ted Williams, for example. He was once homeless and begged for money. But one day, a video of him showing off his amazing voice as a radio announcer went viral. He got to be on big TV shows and turned his life around. Ted always loved the radio and worked hard to sound like the announcers he heard. He tried to join the army as a communications specialist, but ended up as a mechanic. He didn't like it, so he started drinking and got into trouble. He lost his job, his marriage, and became homeless. But after his video got famous, he got help and stopped his addictions. Ted's story shows us that by taking responsibility, you can shape your future. You can reach your goals, no matter how long it takes. Just stay focused and patient. Now we step into the third chapter, the focus of learning. It's all about working on yourself. You can't succeed without growing personally. When you try new things, you learn and get braver about taking chances. Remember, getting better takes time. People often quit not because they can't succeed, but because they lose focus. Big changes don't happen all at once. Real progress is made by taking small steps every day. First, you need to admit that you can always get better. Then, pick something important to work on. Make it a part of your daily life to improve in this area. Think about Walter Cronkite, the famous news anchor. Before the internet, he was the guy everyone watched for news. But he didn't become great overnight. He started as a newspaper reporter and then a radio host. His first time on the radio was tough because he didn't know the football players' names. He tried to get help, but it didn't work out. He learned that being prepared and responsible is key to doing well. After that, Walter worked hard. He learned all about the players and got better at his job. His story shows us that to be the best, you have to keep working on yourself. That's what learning is all about. Chapter 4, problems, opportunities for learning. Challenges are just lessons in disguise. When we see someone who's made it big, we might think they've had it easy. But that's not usually the case. Successful folks often face tougher obstacles than the rest of us. It's how they handle these hurdles that keep them on top. Problems, they're just part of life. You can either tackle them head-on or throw in the towel. And size doesn't matter when it comes to problems. Even the small ones can be tricky, if you don't find the right fix. Here's a tip: always be ready for problems. It's not about being scared, it's about being prepared. That way, when an issue pops up, you won't freak out. And don't go it alone. Teamwork makes the problem-solving dream work. Chapter 5, Hope. The motivation of learning hope is that little voice that whispers keep going when everything seems impossible. It's the energy that helps us face challenges and find joy even when things are hard. Hope is our cheerleader, telling us we can do it even when we doubt ourselves. Now, imagine life without hope. It would be like walking in complete darkness, not knowing where you're going. Without hope, we wouldn't dream or make plans. We could live for a little while without food or water, but we wouldn't want to take even one step forward without hope. So how do we keep hope alive? First, we need to understand that hope is a choice. When we decide to look for the good and expect happy things, life starts to feel more supportive. We can build hope by setting small goals and achieving them. These little wins give us a big energy boost. Chapter 6, Bad experiences. The perspective for learning. Life's tough moments can feel overwhelming, leaving us lost and clouded by negative emotions. It's easy to blame ourselves and spiral into more mistakes. But bad experiences aren't just setbacks, they're valuable lessons that offer chances to grow. Remember, being human means making mistakes. If we dwell on them too seriously, happiness will always be out of reach. Instead, face problems with a smile and a calm mind. This perspective helps us see things clearly and not give up. Mistakes aren't flaws, they're opportunities to learn and move forward. Great inventors didn't view their errors as failures but as steps in their journey of discovery. They persisted, learning from each mistake until they found success. In life, you'll meet two kinds of people: those who stay down splatters and those who get back up bouncers. Aim to be a bouncer, using failures as stepping stones to knowledge and improvement. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for more engaging content.